Did you know Uber wasn't the first taxi app? That's why I'm curious.
Hmm, good question. Many think being first wins. The truth, execution wins even if it's a copy. You take a known problem and solve it better.
Right? So, how did you learn that early on?
I've published 171 repos. None were unique inventions, I just built useful tools. The ones people actually install mattered, not the idea itself.
What's an example of a boring but winning execution?
Flipkart's first step, cash on delivery. Amazon did e commerce, they didn't trust online payments in India. That simple tweak unlocked huge growth.
It sounds like local knowledge beats tech brilliance. How can founders spot that?
Start with problems around you. Your mother's kitchen gadget frustrations. Every complaint is a potential market. The trick, fall in love with the problem, not the first fix.
So, you say stop hunting for inspiration. How do I avoid staying stuck in my own ideas?
Use my problem hunt framework. For 30 days, write one problem each day. After a month, pick those that are frequent and painful.
That sounds doable, but how do I know if it's really worth pursuing?
Talk to 10 people who face that pain. Don't pitch, listen. If they light up describing the problem, you have a candidate.
What if most of them shrug or say it's not huge?
Then you've saved yourself a year. The goal is to avoid building something no one cares about.
I get that, but how do I keep my mind from drifting back to shiny ideas?
When the idea appears, question it. Who will actually pay for this? Is there a pain high enough to motivate payment? If no, forget it.
So the focus is always on user value. That flips the typical founder mindset. What about risk and failure?
Risk is inevitable. Execution requires doing something anyway. Build a minimal version quickly, learn from real users, iterate fast.
Any concrete steps to launch that minimum version?
Step 1, map the core user journey. Step 2, identify the simplest feature that solves the problem. Step 3, ship, then measure reaction.
That reminds me of the lean canvas, but more focused on problems. Do you have a tool for this?
I keep a problem journal. Each entry, what happened, who was affected, how bad it felt, and what would fix it.
How often should I update that journal?
Daily is best, even if it's just a quick note. Over time, you'll see patterns emerge.
What's one pattern you've seen in founders who succeed versus those who don't?
Succeeding founders listen more than they speak. They ask why, not how to pitch early. They iterate faster than dreaming.
If I'm currently building something, what should I do right now?
Write down one problem you noticed today, then check if that issue hurts at least two people in your circle.
Got it? Switching gears a bit, how does this relate to the idea of first movers?
First mover advantage is real only when the market isn't saturated with competitors. If many copy, execution differences create winners.
So, execution can outshine being first.
Exactly. Think of Amazon's rapid fulfillment versus early bookstore startups that didn't scale shipping.
What about funding? Investors love fresh ideas. How do you convince them if your idea isn't unique?
Show traction, not novelty. Prove customers pay and grow. A proven business beats a novel concept in boardrooms.
Any pitfalls I should watch out for while chasing problems?
Don't assume the problem is yours to solve without talking to affected people. Many pains are overblown or solvable by existing tools.
I'll remember that if a pain isn't big, it's not worth the time. How do you decide which pain to tackle first?
Rank them frequency times severity equals impact score. Pick the highest. That gives you the biggest ROI on your effort.
Makes sense. Now, for those who love ideation sessions, how can they adapt this approach?
Turn ideation into problem validation. For each idea, ask who feels this pain? What would solving it cause them? If answers are weak, drop the idea.
So, you're saying every idea starts with a question to users?
Yes, users know their pain better than we do. The goal is empathy first, then solution.
Any advice for founders who feel stuck after 30 days of problem hunting?
Look at your journal. Did you capture a recurring theme? That's likely the market you can own. Dive deeper with interviews.
Thank you, Pranay. That was illuminating. Any final thought before we wrap up?
Stop hunting for unicorns in fields of horses. Ideas are cheap, execution is treasure. Build, fail, learn, repeat. The world rewards the builder.
So, we've already built a 30-day habit right now. What's next when you hit that first real problem?
Okay, so once you notice a pain that repeats, think of the scale. Ask yourself how many people experience it and how big the financial loss is. If it's huge, that's a target.
Right? And we want to keep it simple, not some lofty solution.
Exactly, start with a minimal fix. The first iteration can be as low as an app or a marketplace that solves the core friction that keeps costs low and learning fast.
Can you walk us through a quick example from your own repositories?
Sure. One repo was for a lightweight context manager library. People asked about memory leaks in data pipelines. I built a simple wrapper that cleaned up resources automatically. The idea wasn't new, but the implementation filled a gap.
That sounds pragmatic. What's the first step to turning such an idea into something you can ship?
Build a single purpose tool and publish it on GitHub. Then reach out to a handful of users, maybe 5, to get feedback on bugs or missing features. That loop of building, releasing, iterating is what turns a script into a product.
And the customer side, how do we avoid building something nobody needs?
Validate before you code. Talk to 10 people who suffer that pain and let them describe it in their own words. If all say, "This is exactly what I need," you found a buyer.
That sounds almost too good. Do we risk getting lost in noise?
Noise exists when problems are rare or mild. That's why you only keep the ones that repeat and hurt many. Think of it as filtering for frequency and impact.
What about scalability? Suppose a solution works locally, how do we know it scales?
Look at the business model. If solving the problem means saving a company or household money per month, the math is promising. You can test with a pilot in one region and see if volume grows.
So, a quick calculation could be your go to, like profit per user.
Exactly, do a simple cost benefit analysis, cost to serve versus value saved or earned per customer. If the ratio is positive, you have room to grow.
Now, let's talk speed. How fast should we iterate on this validation phase?
Aim for a 48-hour sprint. In that time, write code, deploy, get feedback, tweak. The sooner you learn the problem isn't worth solving, the better.
And if it is, what's next after a successful sprint?
You move to an MVP with a broader audience and begin scaling infrastructure. That's when you hire, automate, and focus on growth metrics like churn or acquisition cost.
What's the biggest pitfall founders face while building these MVPs?
Getting stuck in feature creep, keep the core promise intact, and add only what your first customers explicitly ask for.
Can you give an example of that?
Sure, in one project, users wanted more integration options. Instead of building every API right away, I created a plugin system that let them add integrations later, that kept the launch simple and future proof.
Nice. And about marketing, how do we get early adopters?
Leverage the people you interviewed first, ask them to be beta users, give testimonials, share on social channels. Personal networks move faster than cold outreach.
And if they're not enough,
Use targeted ads that speak to the pain point. Craft a headline like "Stop wasting hours on manual reporting" and show real numbers from early tests.
great advice. Let's pause here, subscribe, share this episode with someone who needs it, or hit the like button so we keep bringing you practical founders content.
Got it. Now I want to dive deeper into scaling that first MVP once it gains traction.
Sure thing. What's your rule of thumb for when to bring in a product manager?
When you've surpassed 10,000 active users or have three major stakeholders demanding new features, it's time. A PM can align the team around priorities and metrics.
And regarding hiring, any tips on who to bring first?
Hire a junior developer for code maintenance, then a growth hacker for user acquisition. Keep the squad small, 3 people keeps communication tight.
That's lean. Speaking of lean, how do you keep costs low during rapid scaling?
Use serverless functions and autoscaling. Pay only for what you use. Also keep a strict budget. Cap marketing spend at 30% of revenue until ARR hits 1 million.
Do you see any traps with using cloud services?
Yes, vendor lock-in. Build your data layer in a way that can migrate if prices spike or you need more control.
Switching gears, how do founders keep the problem focus when they're tempted to jump on new features?
Remember the original pain point as the North Star. Create a feature backlog and only pop items that directly reduce the main friction you identified.
Could you give us a quick story about where this worked for someone?
One startup wanted to add video support early. The CEO was convinced it would attract users, but the pain point was slow data sync. They dropped the video feature until after they nailed speed and customers loved the improved performance.
That's powerful. Now let's recap. What should listeners keep in mind about stopping idea hunting?
First, problems are plentiful. Find them by watching daily frustrations. Second, validate with 10 real users before coding. Third, build a minimal fix quickly, then iterate. Fourth, focus on the core pain, not your ego.
Any final takeaway for our listeners?
Build fast, fail cheap, learn quick. The idea is free, execution is what earns money. Remember, stop chasing unicorns, start creating reliable value.
Pranay, thank you so much for this treasure trove of actionable insight. If you enjoyed this episode, hit like, subscribe, and share with the founder who needs to hear it. In next week's show, we'll explore the difference between looking rich and being wealthy. Don't miss it. This is the founder mindset. See you next time.